welcome to Pill and Pod. This special, very special episode of our this program is going to be extremely interesting and informative as our guest, who is an expert in a field which is coming up, which has got established over the period of time, Mr. Loya. I would like to welcome Mr. Loya in our program. Sir, welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Samir. Thank you for inviting me.
And I would like to start this by asking a question to you. If at all a B Farm or a M Farm student aspirant candidate would like to get into diagnostics industry, if at all candidate decides to make a career in diagnostic industry, I would like to request you to please let us know what would be the entry level job description in your industry.
Yeah, that's very interesting and important for young aspirants. I would like to simply answer that question by stating that the diagnostic as an industry is a very manpower driven and talent driven industry. So for someone who has done B Pharma has a key three areas where they can really look into. One is of course the selling profile, which is one of the mainstay of the industry where a salesperson represent company in the market. Second is they can very well enter into a marketing. Here, just for the young experience, I am separately giving the answer as a selling as a role and marketing as a role. So the second option is, of course, entering into a marketing as a young talent. And the third one is diagnostic industry also has a lot of technical areas, different sections of investigations where they become a very critical team player in addressing the diagnostic need in the market. So broadly, these three areas one can think about entering into a diagnostic market.
Thank you so much, Loya sir. Thank you so much. So you have taken three terms. The first is sales, the another is marketing, and third is the technical area. I perfectly understand if at all whosoever would be listening to this program would understand what exactly the technical area is, where the candidate or the official, whosoever would be there in the technical area, would actually be running the tests. Whatever phlebotomy or the samples might be coming in the lab, they might be running on various analyzers and would be preparing the reports. I would like to request you to please explain what is sales in diagnostic industry and what is marketing in diagnostic industry.
Yes, that's interesting. This is the one question that during our early days also often ask and get the clarity from our seniors. So here, selling is a typical selling jobs where a salesperson will be meeting the target audience, representing the company and promoting the company products across the region, across the cities, across the geography. So they are essentially spread across the country, doing the primary accountability of representing company there. So it is more like in the diagnostic industry. When I use the word target audience, they are the practicing clinicians who
Right.
will actually prescribe an investigation for recommended or necessary for a patient. So doctors are the target audience. A salesperson will go and meet the doctors, speak about our product and sell there. And how do we provide the diagnostic services in every corner of the country? So that's a selling role. Please.
Sir, what do we mean by products? I mean, what products we would just go to the clinicians who would be writing the tests? What products?
So the word, the product means nothing but the test, the investigations, the
Investigation,
blood test,
tests.
tissue test, all that investigation.
Okay, okay,
And
fine.
just for the clarity, I would like to add one more. So when we use the term diagnostic industry, so this essentially has a broadly two component. One is a radiology or imaging. Another is a blood base or a tissue test. So if I have to answer for me now, so I am in an industry where we involve only the testing solutions, which is for blood and tissue samples,
Right, sir.
not really into a imaging or a radiology
Right,
segment.
right,
Yes.
sir. So now, what is marketing in your field?
So like any other industry or like for that matter, like any healthcare industry, marketing really does a work operating out of head office where they operate centrally. If I
Right.
may add up, in my perspective, the selling uh, is actually enabled and empowered with the marketing team member who keeps on thinking a lot of communication tactics and creativity. So essentially, marketing is operating centrally, and then keeps on thinking in terms of what is the requirement of our sales team so that they can succeed in convincing or persuading prospective customer. So that's how I'll put it in a simple way.
Right, sir. I got your point. Just for the clarification's sake, I would like to ask again. Product marketing means kind of a product management which happens in pharmaceutical in drug products. Is it the same?
Very true.
All right, cool. Because there they strategize about the product, they make budgets, they make forecasting, and then they prepare literatures, maybe some scripts, so as to enable Salesforce to go out in the market, meet the customers, and explain everything as being told by the marketing team. Am I right, sir?
Absolutely. That's correct.
Fantastic, fantastic. So, another question I would just like to ask, what could be the key skills or technical skills a B Form or a M Form candidate should have to get into diagnostics? The first, of course, in sales, the second, of course, in marketing, and third, technical. Because M Form students or B Form students would consider themselves slightly uh, you know, comfortable doing technical things rather than sales and marketing. They would say, all right, fine, I know how to run a HPLC, I know how to run these analyzers, UV, FTIR, and a number of analyzers. So, what should be the skills to enter in these three areas?
So I think for anyone who is graduated with a B Farm or who is a post-graduated with a M Farm, I think they are capable enough to pick up any of the role that we have discussed.
Okay.
It's more to drive with the aspirations of individual. Why I'm saying so, I have a good number of example, a good number of team member who are technical in the background but delivering a wonderful performance in the different roles. Likewise, some of the non-technical knowledge doing a wonderful in the selling job. So for someone who is new in the B pharma or M pharma, while theoretically, yes, you rightly mentioned that technical job possibly or probably is more comfortable to the individual. But then to me, I think they all are a potential candidate to me as an industry leader to accommodate them in any of the task. So this is one of the challenges that we when we recruit or hire any new talent. If we are interviewing an experience basis the interaction basis what a candidate has done in the past, it's very easy to judge. But if we are hiring a new talent with a B farm and M farm, it's a certain perception that we are trying to derive out of it. But on a general note, what I would like to put it across to all the young talent is that they are qualified and capable to pick any of the role in the diagnostic industries that we have just mentioned. It's up to one's aspirations and the personality trait that drives or motivates towards performing in any of the tasks. That's the difference that the course of time and their professional experience will bring in their the quality of life. That's probably is the difference.
I got your point, sir. I got your point. Amazingly explained, aptly, clearly explained for the benefit of the people out there who would like to actually make their career in diagnostic industry, because they might have been seeing diagnostic industry in a separate way from pharmaceutical industry. And as very specifically I'm talking about the graduates and post graduates in pharmaceutical sciences, because they know what exactly they are looking for. Uh, so another question which I would like to ask, sir, if at all a candidate applies for a, let's say, entry level job to you for diagnostic industry, what exactly would you like to see in his or her resume?
All right. Uh, so this is just continuation to I was just trying to express. When we interview a young talent who is not experienced, we as an interviewer or hiring a team is actually trying to make an attempt to make certain perceptions about the candidate's strength and weakness.
Okay.
While yes, we have browsed through the education background and then projects that someone has done, the sense of critical thinking and the involvement in whatever the study projects that they have done, and if there is any impact that they have made, this is all that we understood through the chain of interaction with regards to the academic background. But then very often someone's the conversation that when we do in the interview, I don't think we really try to see exactly if I am hiring for a salesperson, for an example, and if I am interviewing a fresher candidate, I don't think we get exactly the role demands there basis the perception that we make out of the candidate, then we try and fit in there. So maybe to simply answer your question, we do not have exactly okay, if I am hiring or interviewing someone for selling job, one needs to carry a xyz pointer. No, we don't have that metrics there.
Okay.
Selling as a process, for an example, demands someone's really hardworking go to market attitude and the behavior to try something new out of the comfort zone. These are the potential areas that we look into, and we try to get the answer through the conversations.
Right.
The example may derive coming out of someone's family background as well. This is how we try to derive it. But just to answer, there is nothing called for a selling role. There is ABC that we tick it and we get the answer. No, we to be very honest, we don't do that.
Sure. Sure.
This is the perception that built on our mind after interaction that drives us to, or motivate us to hire any young talent, and then we groom them.
Okay.
That's how I'll put it.
Correct, correct. And what about the technical job function? Like, if at all a person wishes to go out there in the lab, sit out there for the entire day and analyze the samples. So, what kind of skills they should have?
Yes, there is exactly the hands-on experience one has done in their laboratory during the study projects does matters there. For
Okay.
example, if we are eyeing for someone for the microbiology department, someone to assist in the department, then that technical expertise in someone's postgrad as a microbiology student does matter there. So when it comes to technical, yes, this exactly coincide with what one has studied in their academic curriculum. That really matches there.
Okay, okay. So, if at all, again, I would just like to reiterate and repeat this question. A B Farm or a M Farm student would like to make a career in diagnostics and specifically in technical area, in the lab. What skills they should develop during their studying for 4 years, 6 years? What should they keep on studying? What should they prepare for? Are there any resources available for technical knowledge of diagnostic industry?
I would say nothing specific, different, and away from what they are really doing as a part of curriculum. This is
Okay.
very much there. The one easiest point for us to pick up is if someone has done intern in the diagnostic industry during their master or graduation, that really helps a hiring company to decide very fast. Other than
Fantastic.
that, I don't think there is any other separate tool that will group some students from the normal group as a suitable for diagnostic. No.
So, do companies provide mentorship program or training programs for these kind of candidates?
So someone who is coming to us as an intern, while they
Hmm.
understand that industry perspective during their course of study is a one part. Definitely they are going to have a hands-on experience apart from their study project. How does the industry function as a intern? But
Okay.
if it is for someone who has on board the organization, who have been hired, then once any young talent is hired, then it's a responsibility of the company to train them, to groom them to
Hmm.
perfectly fit for the role.
All right, all right. Got your point, sir. Got your point. I perfectly got your point. I would like to request you to please um, uh, give an honest review on the actual ground reality of this profession. What exactly, how exactly the diagnostic industry runs? What is the mentality? What is the objective? What is the ground reality? Like we know in pharmaceutical industry, the product selling, what exactly happens? We need to go out there in the doctor's chamber. We need to try to convince him by scientific information, and would like to request them for the prescription or for the support of the product. But in diagnostic industry, what is the ground reality?
Yes, more or less, if someone has understood the healthcare or pharma selling, or someone has a friend circle, understand, I think more or less is the same with respect to selling and marketing.
All
It's
right.
just that the product is different.
Hmm, hmm, hmm.
So the competitive dynamic, the way that the target audience respond and react and choose the right service partner, I think more or less is the same.
Okay, okay. Got your point, sir. Got your point. Thank you. And what could be the most sensitive part of this job a candidate should be careful about and should be aware about? Because of course, diagnostic industry is also extremely sensitive in the sense that wrong diagnostics of a sample may go very very wrong in the clinician's chamber, because he would consider the diagnostic result, the sampling and the results or the reports from the diagnostic lab as the diagnostic thing, and he would start treating. So I wanted to know what could be the most sensitive part of this job.
So, maybe in a two pointer, briefly,
Yeah.
one is as a healthcare, which is a very serious business, we consider that every professional act of mine is impacting a patient or a family life.
Right.
This is the sense of criticality we all carry. Second point is diagnostic selling or the service as a product that when we give, this is a part of a decision making for a clinicians. So we need to be doubly sure in everything that we do, right from a sample is being collected till the time report is hand over to the clinician or to the patient. So we have a big role to play there. So the criticality is range for a simple investigation as much as CBC testing to any high-end investigation for a chronic or critical conditions like cancer or transplant related. So the dynamic is huge. But then for us as a diagnostic professional, whatever we do is a part of a decision making for a clinicians, and whatever I am doing is impacting someone's life. We are talking about a patient's life. So that is a sensitivity we train a young talent once they are into a diagnostic industry to remember throughout.
I got your point, sir. I got your point. And do we have overseas opportunities in this field?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Not only in the diagnostic, generally also, we all see India is one of the country looked up by various country, even the mature countries. That's one part. We Indians are known across the globe.
Yeah.
Second part, in healthcare, uh, Indian MNCs are good number who are doing a fantastic business outside the country, even in the regulated market, including Europe and US, and non-regulated market across the globe. The third is the India is booming as a medical tourism center,
Correct.
which means the lot of patients from the UAE, African country, or the Asia Pacific country are coming into India. So, which means we are feeling proud about the performance and the work that India is doing in the field of healthcare. Similarly, Indian companies are spreading their wings outside the country, which means the talents are required there. I'll give you just one example. One of our healthcare fellow, who is a wonderful selling professional, as out of hobby or out of curiosity, out of a sense of keep on learning, he studied Russian as a language he picked up.
Wow.
Currently, he is based out of Tashkent, as a country head out there.
That is
So,
one
so
beautiful
those is a
example.
one example. So, yes, the answer is yes.
Wow. Amazing. Amazing. So I would just like to uh, make it make this point a stronger point. I would like to emphasize on this wisdom Mr. Loya has given us right now. If at all in diagnostic industry or maybe in some other industry you would like to go to some other country to start your career or stay out there to make your career, you can always develop a skill of their language which would actually be added into your resume, and you can always present your case in front of the company or in front of corporate that I am capable of handling this issue, which is extremely important. If at all you would be able to converse in their local language, you are an asset. You would certainly be recognized, you would certainly be given more opportunities to go overseas. So this is one very beautiful suggestion Mr. Loya has given here. We should always try to learn those languages wherever you want to go. So you need to decide if at all, as Mr. Loya said, this person wanted to go to Russia, so he kept on learning that language, and well, he was eligible. Fantastic. That's very beautiful thing which you have given us, sir. So this is one question which is extremely, crucial and important in the young minds today. What could be the initial salary packages in the diagnostic industry as a fresher? I mean, if at all a person gets entry, what could be what an approximation initial salary packages?
So, it's quite a range, but for discussion's sake, I can quote a number range, anywhere between 3.5 to 5 lakhs annual package is something that easy to start. But this
Okay.
doesn't mean this ends there. So we have some examples where it is well beyond the upper limits that I have just quoted.
Okay, fantastic. And what would happen after, let's say, 5 years if at all a candidate keeps on working diligently and hardworking? What would happen after 5 years?
So, so in today's world, while every companies are trying to make impact in the society, similarly within the organization, the companies are very cognizant about identifying the right talent who will pick up the greater responsibility, who will contribute more than what they are expected to, and that is happening. Which means that every talent who comes into a system is a potential to go up to top of the ladder.
Correct.
So one should not limit their thinking that or that level of, unless someone is so satisfied with their current level of responsibility in life. But I am not saying sky is the limit, but yes, someone who entered the system is a potential candidate to go up to a top of the ladder.
Okay, okay. And what are the growth? Though, of course, you have already answered this question in my previous question, but still, I would like to have a slightly more clarity on this. What are the growth prospects in diagnostics?
There are a huge growth prospect from as simple as responsible of a certain unit or a certain area of responsibility to a complete authority of one location, one city, or one particular regions. If I may add, this is how the hierarchy will move up.
Of
For
course.
example, if someone is joining as a sales in one city, will go up to a national responsibility. Similarly, someone who has joined as a technical in one section of the laboratory may go up to a PNL head of one particular center. And
All right.
diagnostic industry is there is a limit to centralization, a lot of decentralization happening, which means laboratories are getting expanded. It's a number that we keep on counting. As the number increases, company is hunting for a right talent, smart talent to lead the team. So there is a potential. So, for young aspirants, I would like to quote one more example, very interesting example as where a talent can reach. So, as simple as a young professional who have done DMLT joined the industry as a phlebotomist. Then he start doing a wonderful work in phlebotomy, and eventually, as a company uh, expand, then he has been given an additional role to do a technician job in the
Wow.
within the laboratory.
Okay.
Then he did a perfect, wonderful task there, and then, as the senior management observes the talent, and as just like any other normal procedure, his potential is identified, and is also observed that his interpersonal skills is so good that keeps the things rolling, which is when company given him additional tasks to start interacting with the consumers.
Right.
So this is how one young talent of DMLT join as a phlebotomy, deliver a wonderful work as a phlebotomist, as a technician, and as a consumer handling. And eventually, he has been given and moved to the selling job, and he is doing a wonderful work with a good performance year on year. So this is
Fantastic.
another example.
What is the full form of DMLT, sir?
Stands for Diploma in Medical Laboratory Technology.
Okay. 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 Fine. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. And just in case any aspirants would like to do this, where they can do it?
Very often, this is available in the nursing institutes, hospitals, some of the recognized center. They are there, so
Okay.
it should be very easy to identify them. And
This
this is available in across the cities and regions.
this is extremely important piece of information for every aspirants. If at all they are serious, they like this industry, they can go for this kind of a diploma. So that could be added in their candidature, in their resume, and they can certainly have an upper edge when they would appear for the interview. Thank you so much, Loya sir. Thank you so much. Very right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for answering this question so beautifully. And, sir, lastly, I would just like to request you to please give some motivational message to all the aspirants so they can seriously think of making their career in diagnostic industry. Please.
So, so the this point is something not only related to the professions. Whatever we do, whatever we picked, the hunger to prove someone's worth, or my hunger to prove my worth, and the impact that I can make in the role that is given to me or designated to me is something that really drives. So no role is smaller when we are working as an organization, working as a group. So, whatever the role I am suitable as an employee to start, I think that has a significant impact in achieving organization common goal. So, anybody who is joining the industry, I think don't carry any baggage. Once I am in the system, whether this is good or bad, small or big, that is very, very immaterial. The organizations, the management team is very smart enough to watch out for every small contribution that is making by each individual. So I think my own hunger to enjoy the role that I am doing, and my intent to prove my worth is very, very important. One needs to keep it intact. Why I am saying so, during the interview, we also come across a lot of candidates who are very good in, uh, presenting themselves with a good language, good English, rosy words, brownie points. But then the professional world is a real practical,
Correct.
where one prove their worth, not with the words, but with their act. So be very honest, carry your hunger to prove your worth. That will be my word of advice to all the young talents.
Amazing, amazing. So beautifully and so aptly put. Thank you so much, Loya sir. Thank you so much. So, I would like to repeat his message to the aspirants again, that you should be committed to your own worth. You should have that hunger, as Mr. Loya has used this beautiful word. You should have that hunger to prove yourself, to prove your worth. And that commitment, that hunger should be actually shown when you would be appearing for the interview, you would be interacting with the officials out there. There should not be any rosy picture about your candidature, or some maybe false commitments. No, they should be, because these people whosoever are taking your interviews are smart. They are, experienced people. They are seasoned, so they can immediately see in your candidature or in your personality whether you are serious, you are really committed, you are really hungry to prove your worth, or not. They can see through you. So be careful. And as Mr. Loya said, prepare yourself for the industry. Thank you so much, Mr. Loya, for your time. Thank you so much for coming in our program.
Thank you so much. It was pleasure having this talk with you.
Thank you.